All right, guys, this will be my last women's basketball post for a while, or at least until next year's Women's March Madness. And this is going to be my early odds-on favorite to win next year's 2026-2027 Women's National College Basketball Championship. I usually go with 10 teams on this thing, but just because I don't get that much into women's basketball, and legitimately in college basketball, for men and women, there's usually legitimately only 6 to 8 teams that are legitimately going to be a viable threat to win the national championship. But let's get into it. Obviously, I usually go number one. I go with the defending national champions. I'm not doing that. Obviously, number one, I'm going with the team, one of the teams I support, and that is the UConn Lady Huskies. Obviously, that's a very good team. That's a very good team every year. And as long as Gino's their coach, that team's going to be a threat every year, and you got to put them right at as one of the top 2 favorites to win the national championship every year. Plus, Ozzie Fudd's leaving, but Sarah Strong will be back, and she's very good. And from what I've seen, UConn's already a favorite to win next year with her. So at number one, we're going the UConn Lady Huskies. At number 2, we're going with the team that got blew out in the national championship this year. Again, for the second year in a row, we're going with the South Carolina Gamecocks at number 2. Dawn Staley is a heck of a coach, and that team's a threat every year. They will be back next year. So at number 2, we're going with the South Carolina at number 2, we're going with the South Carolina Gamecocks. At number 3, we're going with this year's 2025-2026 national champions. We're going with the UCLA Bruins, just because they won the national championship this year for the ladies. At number 4, I'm going to go with a team that did very good this year. I think they got to the Sweet 16. That's where they got beat by Duke. I'm going with the LSU. I'm going with LSU Tigers at number 4 because their coach is Kim Mulkey, and she's a very good coach. They're always a threat. At number 5, so at number 4, we're going with the LSU Tigers. At number 5, we're going, this is tough. At number 5, I'm going to go with the Texas Longhorns. They had a good team this year. I think they'll be very good again next year. So I'm going to go with Texas. At number 5, going with the Texas Longhorns. And at number 6, this is a team I would put higher with the exception of the fact their main star this year was out. We all know why. But I'm going with a team that I believe could easily win the national championship next year. Their star, their best player, will be back next year. She sat out this year. I'm going with the USC Trojans at number 6. The only reason I'm putting them there at 6 because I want to see how Juju Watkins is going to do to start off next season. She's not eligible to go to the WNBA draft this year. Otherwise, I think she probably would have went. She sat out this year to focus on rehab. She should be fully healthy next year. And a fully healthy Juju Watkins makes USC very dangerous. So going with USC at number 6. Them are the top 6 teams, I think, for women that will be the biggest threats to get to the Natty title game and win the Natty title game in that order. If I'm going to make an early on prediction, I'm going UConn versus USC in the national title game next year with USC winning it all. But anyways, y'all have a great offseason, women, for anybody that gets into women's basketball. Heck yeah. But as always, also, before I end this, I just want to say, as far as my Tennessee Lady Vols and my Duke Blue Devils go for women's, them 2 teams, I think they'll both do very well. I can see both of them in the Elite 8 next year. But anyways, heck yeah, let's go. Women's basketball is over. We'll be back next March for March Madness predictions. See you then, guys.